If you've ever played a gacha game in your life and you've clicked on this video and you're wondering what this is, I encourage you to please stay and watch the entirety of the video, as I truly believe Kuro Games has not only kicked down the door, but with this patch has completely changed the gacha genre going forward. And I want to explain that to people who are going to come across. Hi guys, my name is AJ. Sorry for no face cam today. Still got to get a haircut, so we'll just throw the PNG up right now. But I want to talk about why Wuthering Waves, not just the patch, and I don't want to glaze Wuthering Waves, but I want to talk about why this is something that we need to notice and take note of going forward for gacha games that are coming. When Wuthering Waves first released, right, it was held to a ridiculously high standard. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, because of Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves was like, oh, some people were calling it, oh, here's the Genshin killer, here's this, here's that, right? So it was kind of looked at in this all-time superior like game that was going to come out, that was going to completely change everyone's minds. I remember when the game launched, everybody gave it an average score of like a 7, some gave it an 8, some gave it a 6, so the average score would round out about 7. I remember some people even trying to say, oh, it's a Genshin copy, or it's even flawed compared to Genshin. I still remember that. But with that being said, what ended up happening is every criticism or everything that was bad about Wuthering Waves, whether it was bugs, issues, anything like that, optimization, the Kuro Games worked non-stop to fix, and they listened to the community, and they're listening from everywhere. It's not just CN, they're listening to everywhere, global, CN, JP, wherever it is they make a mistake or they hear criticism, they go out their way and they go and fix. And the thing is, when 1.1 came out and Mount Firmament came out, I was going in with a little bit of skepticism because, you know, I'm doing content creation, guys. I don't make any money off this, brutally honest. Right now, I'm trying to grow, and I've gotten the green light from, you know, my parents, you know, were saying, hey man, go do it full time, go pursue your dreams. And one of the things is that this game, I'm thinking in my mind, can be one of my biggest breaks, you know what I mean? But if Wuthering Waves is going to fail or be trash, right, then what's the point of me covering it? What's the point of me wasting my time into the gacha genre when there could just be a monopoly for Hoyoverse and Hoyoverse creators? That's why I want to get into now what changed, what made history, is the fact that Kuro Games, when they dropped 1.1, addressed everything that people were worried about. You want to talk about Abby being a Paimon 2.0? It's not even a Paimon 2.0 because it does something completely Paimon never could, or the Genshin devs don't want her to do, is that Paimon repeats the same bullshit over and over again, and all of us get irritated listening to it for 3 times. I literally want to just grab Paimon, turn her into a football, and punt her ass away. But it's alright, whatever. I'm not going to get mad about it too much. But then we have Abby over here, who, holy shit, is having a literal conversation with you as the player. And what's crazy is, I don't think I've heard a stretch where Rover had that many voice lines, and it's just a normal conversation between the two. Wasn't annoying at all, and didn't even affect or hurt the story quest. Abby seems like a really good character that they're utilizing in their own way going forward. The revenue charts, I mean, the global revenue for Wuthering Waves beat the global revenue for Genshin Impact, which is crazy to me considering that Jihnsi is cool and has amazing animations, but the more people keep seeing of Changli, the more her hype keeps snowballing, and it's probably going to even pass Jihnsi's. And people are going to come back, and I think Jihnsi's banner, I think Changli's banner is going to surpass Jihnsi's banner. And that's what's so telling to me. And then I want to talk about just the rewards for a second. They're still giving us a 10 pool. But you're like, oh yeah, 10 limited pools, right? That's nothing. You know, Star Rail gives us 10 limited pools. And I would have agreed with you, but they're giving us 10 standard pulls as well, and 10 weapon pulls on top of every patch where we can use the certain materials to get 7 standard pulls, 7 limited pulls, and 7 weapon pulls. This company is innovating. They're changing. And now I want to talk about why, as a gacha gamer, if you're still here, this is important for you as a community, as an individual person who plays these games, who spends money on these games, even if you're a free-to-play. But I do think light spenders and whales do take the majority of the say for this, for what I'm about to say, because they're the ones who are ultimately providing money for these games, these live service games, to be running still and just thriving and giving us more patches. But I want to talk about something that nobody, either if you're a gamer, then you probably don't understand what I'm about to say. So I'm going to explain it, and I'm going to throw up an image for you guys, just so you guys understand. When Mike Tyson was in his prime and he finally won the championship, everybody looked at Mike Tyson and said he was the most indestructible, fast man in the boxing universe. Mike Tyson is Hoyoverse, okay? Because when Hoyoverse dropped Genshin Impact and it just blew up and it kept getting bigger and bigger, and then they dropped Honkai Star Rail, right? It was it felt like Hoyoverse could do no wrong. They were untouchable. Everything they did was gold. Every other gacha game that you would think that tries to release, oh, this is something new that would compete, got smacked and slayed. A la Tower of Adversity. Look what happened to that. That slayed. You know what I mean? Like, but when Wuthering Waves came out, right? It was the first time that I think people are like, competition. And I think it scares people. Competition. Competition is not bad for this space. And now I want to go back and finish the Mike Tyson story. See, Mike Tyson was champion for a very long time, and nobody could ever last one round with him. So Hoyoverse is the top dog of this space. All these new gachas come out, they can't last one round with them. One day, Mike Tyson ended up fighting a certain opponent. He goes by the name of Buster Douglas. I still remember talking to my dad about this situation. Nobody could ever beat Mike Tyson or last a round. That is the general known consensus. When Buster Douglas got in the ring with Mike Tyson, it was the first time I believe Mike Tyson heard a bell ring, and someone went to go sit back down in that corner looking at him saying, hey man, I want that. I'm coming for that title. I want that championship. That's what I feel like is happening with Kuro Games and Hoyoverse right now. Like, I think right now what's happening is we're getting this Buster Douglas moment. And who's to say? Maybe Kuro Games does drop the ball in the future. We don't know. But for right now, Kuro Games made it out of round 1. And right now, everybody's wondering what the hell, at least from the Hoyoverse side and the Hoyo stands, what the hell is happening? Because they just dropped 1.1 improved. Why this is bigger than just this conversation about Kuro Games and Hoyoverse is we have Azure Pamelia coming out, right? Azure Pamelia needs to be a success. They can't slack, they can't fall off, they can't be bad at all. They need to make sure their game is good and ready to go too. Because what's ended up happening is now, if you're someone who's making a gacha game, if you're a dev team, if you're just someone who has your eye on the gacha space, right? You're seeing Kuro Games firsthand not only survive, but throw hands back at the juggernaut. They want the title. Like, guys, I don't think anybody understands that mobile game of the year award. It's up for anybody right now. I'm serious. There's no telling if Kuro doesn't drop 3 monster patches after this, because they're just at their start and can take the game of the year award. They could, not the game of the year, but the mobile game of the year. And I think if you're another gacha game, if you're another gacha company, you need to really raise your bar high and be like, if you have the funding, now's my time to compete against Hoyoverse. Because if you don't do it now, you're never going to get a better shot than what is happening. Genshin is on the decline. Honkai Star Rail seems to be Hoyoverse's flagship game. You can't You can't waste this opportunity, especially with Azure Familia coming out, especially with any other gacha that is coming out. You need to, if you're a company right now, you need to make it as high quality as possible and throw your hat in the ring, because then what ends up happening is there's no monopoly anymore. Now we have creators for different spaces, you know what I mean? And there's gonna be multiple creators that, yeah, you can cross over and stuff like that, but let's just be real, guys. Tectone doesn't cover one game. He doesn't make guides, so he can go freely wherever he wants and do whatever he wants. But I know something right now. If Azure Familia is good and another gacha game in the future is a big budget gacha game comes out too, and that's good, you know what they're probably already thinking? How the hell am I going to make content and cover it and make guides and all this other stuff on these games, knowing that I'm so stretched in when I have to make sure all the information I present on these games that I'm already known for and have, this is my job, I have to do well here. How am I supposed to like pile all this work on top of my head? But you know what that's going to do for us players though, right? That's going to make this amazing, because whenever there's a down patch, we get to go to the next game. Whenever there's another down patch, we get to go to the next game. Or whenever we complete all the content for one game, we get to move on to the next game. But it also gives us, for those who don't want to play that many gacha games too, variety, and then things you may be interested in. Now you can go play that game. So it's not like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves are going to be the only games out there. But I do think that what Wuthering Waves is doing right now is very eye-opening for the space of gacha. That's it for this video, guys. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I normally don't yap or just talk about this, but there's just too much on my mind to talk about. We do make guide content. We do try to make funny content on here as well. So stay tuned. We're almost to 1K and getting monetized. And yeah, guys, I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.